The Knicks. Ooh. Mmm.
He eats Pringles. He likes to mingle. That's why he's got a podcast, but with two of us, not single.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And the way Brunson shoots, he's like a ninja. Tyler Levins.
Oh.
Whoa.
All right, way to ruin it.
Wow. Wow.
Fortnite.
He
remember-
just did
Do you remember
that.
that Fortnite dance that he did at New Year's Eve and no one was dancing to it?
No, I don't remember that.
Like, come on! He like did that little thing he does, and then no one was doing it.
Oh my lord! How long ago was that?
Whenever he was peak ninja,
Holy cannoli!
man.
like 2014, 2015.
Yeah. It's like, come on, I'm not seeing enough movement.
You remember? Okay.
I'm not seeing enough movement.
How about Kevin Knox though?
Who?
Mr. Fortnite himself.
Mr. Fortnite, Knicks legend.
I knew it was doomed when he had that in his suit.
Oh.
He's on the Warriors now.
I didn't know he was still in the league.
He just never plays, but yeah, he's on the Warriors.
Dang,
Let's
man,
go.
poor Kevin Knox.
What do you mean?
He's really gotten similar treatment to the Deep, except Kevin Knox
What?
didn't do anything wrong.
He was Rookie of the Month one month.
My
Yeah,
shoulder,
but-
they cut me out.
He's a summer
average,
league
like-
legend. They can't just cut me
Yeah.
out of the picture, man.
They can't cut me out. Oh my gosh.
Like, man,
You know, I had a class with his cousin at Ryder. It's funny because I did one of those like Canvas introductions, and I mentioned that my favorite team was the Knicks, and I see this reply from a guy, something Knox, I forget what, Stanford? No, not Stanford, something Knox, and he was like, "Hey, yeah, my cousin's on the Knicks," and I looked and I was like, "Oh, I don't think he would randomly lie about that on a school forum." So yeah, screw it, that's his cousin.
that's sick.
You forget how close you have ties to some of these players because you assume, like, as a kid, like, they're idols and, like, you'll never get to talk to them. But then when you're an adult, you're like, they're really just, like, a connection or two away.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw something about that where like pretty much you can get to every single person in the world within like 8 people.
Yeah.
It's like it's crazy. Like I know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy who's best friends with LeBron James.
Yeah, there's a game about that featuring the man that Kanye West recently made a song about. But I'm not going to say his name for monetization or YouTube guidelines, whatever.
I think I
Okay,
might know
right.
this game.
Yeah, it's
Does
like
it involve a secret?
it's like handshakes. It's like you have to connect the handshakes to that guy.
I don't know. I don't know this one.
Yeah, so it's like Obama to the HH song guy. And
Oh, okay, I know this game. Yeah.
it's like pretty much everyone has like shook his hand within like 7 or 8 people.
Holy shit!
You have
Yeah.
Kanye's germs.
No, not Kanye.
Oh.
No, the
Obama.
man he made that song about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about?
The eighth man.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Never mind.
yeah.
Got it.
No,
The world is
no,
terrible
Kanye's
people.
cousin.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it.
Or the man he misses his friendship with, Pusha T.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, we've all shook hands with Jalen Brunson.
Basically, yeah.
What do you think about that, Phil?
Do you think he's gonna try to draw a foul, Phil?
I'm gonna go wash my hands real quick.
I am never washing my hands again.
I'm within 5 handshakes of Jalen Brunson, I swear.
Maybe less. No, definitely less. Yeah, because I shook hands with Steve Novak, David Lee, and J.R. Smith. Oh, yeah, wait. I shook hands with J.R. Smith.
You're
So
just
you're 2 handshakes
one
away.
yeah. Easy.
Yeah, because I shook hands with JR, and JR, after seeing his shenanigans in the post-game show with Brunson, he definitely shook his hand. But I've never shaken your hand, though.
Yeah, dang it. Right, dang it.
But I dapped up Taff,
That's true. You're one person away.
Yeah.
and you are the person.
Who? I wonder if there's anyone. I'm trying to think of like a handshake. Who am I? Who's the old Syracuse assistant coach? I think I actually shook his hand.
Who's the assistant coach?
I think the old. I think it was like 2013, 2014, like assistant coach on the Syracuse Orange.
Oh, not Boeheim because he was the coach.
Yeah, but I'd be like one away from him. Coaching staff.
Is that what got y'all into basketball? Was Syracuse?
Yeah, that and
Probably
LeBron.
say so.
King. Yeah, I started watching basketball. The first game I watched was LeBron's 27-game winning streak being broken up. I watched Heat Bulls. That was the first game I ever watched.
Wow.
Yeah, I put it on my story. I said, "Yeah, let's go Heat" with a sunglass emoji, and then they lost that game. And then I started watching. That year, I was a fan of the Heat and the Knicks, and then after that, I became just a Knicks fan.
I remember actually the way that I started like really getting into basketball and sports in general was Mississippi State. I remember we had this guy named Jarvis Vernado. Y'all remember Jarvis Vernado?
Yeah, Jarvis Vernado. We were talking about him.
Dog.
I was saying to Minty, I was like, I'm in a room with like 6 people who know Jarvis Varnado's name. That's insane.
Really is iconic.
Yeah, Ryder's version of that was Jason Thompson.
Oh, Jason Thompson.
Yeah, Ryder legend.
Oh, shit.
Probably the best basketball player. Not probably, definitely the best basketball player. He has a practice court named after him at Ryder.
Damn. Yeah, he's the real deal.
Yeah, and there's only like 2 or 3 courts, and one of them is named after him.
Who are the other ones named after? Do you know?
I don't think they were even named after anyone.
Me. I have one.
Yep.
Yeah. It's actually
Why not?
Philip White Court. Both of them. Both of the other two are.
So that's why we've been losing.
Maybe if you
You know
started
what?
rooting for the
It's a
Knicks,
curse.
something would change.
I've
We haven't
cursed.
made March Madness since 1994.
Damn.
Yeah. We were close with Thompson, but we were like a game or 2 away.
Damn,
We
Jason
were a game-
Thompson couldn't even will y'all to the tournament?
But he was like pick 14 or something.
Yeah,
But-
I remember he was like a...
2 or 3 years ago, we were a free throw away, but one of our players missed the free throw.
Ugh.
That was
And he-
awful.
Transferred to Norfolk State. Saw him get his ass whooped by Duke this year.
Let's go.
Damn. Wait, who transferred to Norfolk State?
One of the players that missed the free throw.
How
On the-
absolutely
Yeah.
evil. Choke for a rider and then go to Duke.
He was cool though.
What?
I think yeah, he got Ring of Fire in Cup Con when we were playing him.
Speaking of
I don't
March
think
Madness,
I've ever eaten a can of Pringles faster than I am right now. I'm almost done.
you were that hungry. I just read this just now. They're considering expanding the March Madness bracket.
Yeah, it's 78 teams or something. That was definitely because of West Virginia not getting in. They should have gotten in.
Yeah, it's 72 or 76.
I don't think
Where'd
you
even put 'em,
expand
though?
it, man.
Where'd
No,
you
that's a
put
lot
'em?
of teams already. 64. That's a lot of teams.
Yeah.
Like I get expanding college football, but not basketball.
Where would you even expand it though? Like in the tournament, like where? Like because normally it's what the 6 and 11 face off, and then it's like a 1 and 16. But like where
Yeah.
would you even add those matchups?
It would have to
next?
be either in multiples or four, or they expand the first in or last in, whatever it is. You could make the last in like 8, I guess, instead of 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
West
And-
Virginia definitely should have been in though. That was crazy.
Yeah.
UNC
Well,
should have.
Yeah, UNC should have.
Yeah, but they had wasn't like the head of the tournament like selection committee also like the AD of UNC.
Maybe. I didn't hear about that.
I think so. I think the head of the selection committee was also the athletic director at UNC.
Classic.
So they were gonna get in.
Classic. And they convinced
Blue blood
convinced me
moment.
that they'd do something.
You know what's crazy? Rutgers having 2 of the top 3 picks, not making the tournament, and still keeping their stocks.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Dylan Harper and Ace Bailey. They're projected 2 and 3 in the draft, and they didn't like they had like a 14 and 18 record or something.
Wait. Oh yeah, they are. What the?
Yeah, and
Wasn't
somehow,
there
like, I don't get how you go 14 and 18, but keep their stocks where they are.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me either.
What's the word on Copenhagen?
What's the word?
Sent 17 minutes ago. Still no.
Anyway, Tev, what do you think about the Knicks tonight? Huh? What do you think they need to do to win?
Well,
the game?
I think they need to. Well, all right.
Not eat Pringles.
They need to not eat Pringles. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be a good story.
God, they're so good. The common theme that I noticed throughout this series is that the Knicks. I mean, like, the reason we won was because the reason we've lost as many as we have is because in pretty much every game, one of Halliburton or Pascal Siakam are just unguardable. One of them decided to be like they turned the 2K sliders up. So, I would say, just to build off what you were saying, Phil, I mean, Brunson just step up on defense. Also, Brunson's incredible shooting percentage did wonders for the team.
Yeah.
But yeah, the things that I'm going to be the most worried about going into this game are, can Jalen Brunson stay solid on defense? And then number 2, can Karl Anthony Towns stay out of foul trouble? It's going to be more than 3. Number 3, can we get Mitchell Robinson and Karl Anthony Towns in the same lineup at the same time?
You know, I really think that Precious Achiuwa provided an amazing spark for us. He is the perfect guy to put on Pascal Siakam defensively. So I think, you know, our starting 5 is big. Off the bench, you got to put in Precious. Think about how perfect that feels, right? Like, obviously they're teammates, but that aside, or they were teammates, but that aside, they're very similar height, very similar build, and Precious is a damn good defender against guys like Pascal, who are thick but can dribble the ball, post up, but aren't extremely tall. That's Precious's only weakness on defense is guys that are like 7 foot plus. But Pascal, I feel like he's like, what, 6'10", maybe 6'9", 240, 250, whatever it may be. Mm-hmm. That's the perfect defense against him is Pascal. I'm sick of seeing Pascal on Obi, man. Or not Pascal on Obi, Precious on Obi.
Yeah. I like the idea of seeing Precious on Pascal. I think was it Bridges that was getting cooked by Pascal that one night?
He was getting cooked by Halliburton game 4. But we already adjusted that, so we don't need to worry about that right now.
Yeah, it was game 4, but like that one night where Pascal Siakam was going.
He was cooking
off.
Josh Hart.
It was Josh Hart.
Josh Hart. He's a good defender, but he's just not tall enough.
Mm-hmm.
And he's strong, but Pascal is bigger, way bigger.
Yeah. Also, that particular night, like Pascal, from a physicality standpoint, is just like beefy compared to Hart.
I see it every game. Pascal, whenever Josh Hart's on him, he just little bros him.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about Phil? I want to ask you this too. What do you think about Tyrese Halliburton doing that SGA-like smile after that loss? Is that an SGA smile or is that a fluke smile? Like, I'm kind of scared now.
Can we nah, I think it's neither. I think dude just trying to just smile through it. You know, I mean, granted, I will say it's kind of weird because I feel there are two. Because remember when Jason Tatum would do all of when they won the championship? He got called out we did it! We did it! You know, I guess we'll never. What would happen if I didn't win? I guess we'll never know. I think it's weird to me because I feel like Halliburton is kind of doing that, but not getting the same.
I agree.
But at the same time, I think the difference is, and people would say the difference is. I think the difference is. I'm gonna be honest. It's the aura. It's the fact that he's shooting the shots.
Yeah.
And it's also the fact that he's making shots. Like when Jason Tatum won, they beat the Mavs in 5. That Mavs team, I think, didn't they? Maybe I'm wrong in saying this because maybe I'm just confusing it this year. Kyrie was hurt, but I think got hurt.
Oh yeah,
Someone
the
got hurt towards
Celtics
the end
had one of the
series.
easiest playoff runs in NBA history.
Yeah,
They
and like
faced the Magic, or was it the Magic? I don't remember the first.
don't remember
I remember they
first
faced
round.
the Cavs without Donovan Mitchell, right? And then they faced the Heat without Jimmy Butler. That's what it was. The first round, they faced the Heat without Jimmy Butler. The Cavs without Donovan Mitchell, and then
Then the Pacers.
The Pacers.
conference was the Pacers without Halliburton for 2 games. And then they go to the finals, and Kyrie only plays like 2 or 3 games.
yeah, I don't think Kyrie played the full series. I do.
Yeah, that was an easy ass
Yeah.
finals run.
Cupcake
Almost as
Mickey
easy
Mouse
as
ring.
The Warriors in 2015 when they didn't face a single starting point guard for their playoff run.
Wait, was that the team that went 73 and
No,
was
it was the
73
year before that.
The year before, okay.
Yeah, it was. They faced the Pelicans without Drew Holiday. Then they faced the Grizzlies without Mike Conley. Then they faced the Rockets without Patrick Beverly. You notice the trend there? All 3 of those are really good at defense. All 3 of those.
Yeah.
And then they faced the Cavs where Kyrie only plays half a game.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
No starting point guards.
It's so weird to me that like there's so many playoff runs where I feel like at least lately, the like players have just not been healthy from playoff time.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's just a common trend lately.
I
Honestly,
think
knock
this
on wood,
year
but
has been
it's a
the
blessing that
anomaly.
we're healthy.
Mhm.
It's a blessing that we're healthy right now.
Yeah. Like this year has been an anomaly with that stuff because injuries have been killing the entertainment value of a lot of the previous playoffs.
Yeah, and we're actually getting guys that are playing so far. Again, blessing right now. Knock on wood, whatever, because we've had players that have been injured all year. OG was out a month. Brunson was out a month. Mitch was out most of the year. We got Huck Porty back. Huck Porty got his first point since January.
Hell yeah. Love
Let's
Ariel
go.
Huckforty.
But like to bring it back to the thing about Halliburton, I think honestly he's fine. They had a bad game. Like he played a bad game 3, and because
then
they had an awful second half because
playoff
they just
history.
couldn't score at all. Then you go into game 4, he has that incredible triple double, no turnovers, and then tonight, like on game 5, single digits. I think it was a lot because Brunson played a lot better defensively. I think they were. I think especially in game 6, you mentioning Achua on Spicy P.
Yeah.
I feel like that's another key to this matchup is it's not just playing defense, it's about finding the right guys to match up defensively because of the fact that Indiana has so many guys that can just get a bucket, it matters which guy you put on them. And if say Macau struggles early defensively, that's got to be like a rotational thing where New York has to recognize that and say, all right, we're gonna try to place Macau on somebody else.
Yeah. People were saying play Landry Shamet over McHale. I don't see that.
No.
I like Landry Shamet in the rotation,
yeah,
but
hell no.
don't play him over McHale. That's just Knicks fans being delusional.
Yeah.
Same thing with Josh Hart. People were saying because Josh Hart had 2 bad games, like kick him out of the rotation. Absolutely not. Those 2 players we wouldn't be here without them. We wouldn't have beat the Celtics without them. We wouldn't have beat the Pistons without them.
Yeah.
You remember Mikal Bridges in the 4th quarter? He had 3 fourth quarters that single-handedly brought us back into it.
Yeah, there's no possible way that this team is better if you insert Landry Shamet for Mikal Bridges. That's just people yapping in Instagram comment sections.
That's also New York, though. That's that's a lot of New York. Like I think that's fan bases in general, but specifically New York media is by far the harshest criticism media of all time. It's just like one bad game.
Anthony Edwards said it perfectly when he and Kat were swapping jerseys. Kat's first game in Minnesota. The Knicks fan says, "Ant, come to New York," and he says, "Hell nah, one bad game and y'all call me ass."
Yeah, it's that. And it was like, what was it with Eli? Hey! The X Factor.
Yo, not much, man. How you doing?
How we doing?
I'm trying to pop in. We're good.
How you doing,
yeah.
little guy?
Hold on. Let me. I'm gonna join again in 2 seconds. Hold on, 2 seconds.
All right, cool. Take your
No
time.
worries, take time.
Let's go.
Let's
Sweet.
go. The X Factor's here. I gotta go get a water. I'll be right
Yo,
back.
Taff, you need to cook that introduction.
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. I had no idea what you guys were saying about it first.
Yeah. Yeah, that surprised me. I was actually,
Getting ready to wrap up.
yeah, I was getting ready to wrap up, and now here we are.
Yeah, bro. Honestly, I'll come at 7:30, 7:45, whatever.
Okay, word, yeah. I'll run it for, yeah, as long as he sticks around.
35
pretty
minutes
much.
or something.
Like 30 to 45 minutes, probably.
I like pull something.
Yeah, my laptop's on. My laptop's
Hey,
on.
how we doing?
Good, man. How y'all doing?
Good, man. How are you? Well, I already asked you that, but we are. We've been running the show right here. I'm gonna do a little intro real quick. Let me see if I can get this set up. Yeah, we'll just run it like this. We'll do it live. Alrighty, people.
Let's do it.
People of Earth, this is the Primetime with Taff and Phil podcast, and we are doing Game 6 pregame for Knicks Pacers, and we've got Gabriel Pickup in the building, founder of NBA Rumors and News.
Yo.
Philip White in the building, co-host of Primetime with Taff and Phil, and former Nick Buck Pacer, and founder of the Cope Collective, Chris Copeland. Chris, thank you so much for making it, man. How you doing?
Thank you guys for having me. I'm doing really well, blessed. As you guys saw earlier, my son was trying to pop in. I'm having time every day. I get to spend time with my son is a blessing. So, I'm really good. I can't complain. How are you guys doing?
That's awesome, man. Doing well.
Yeah.
Happy to be
Doing
running
great.
the show.
You know, all things considered, with the stress levels for Game 6, doing pretty good.
Absolutely. It's a high stress situation, but this is the best part of it. It's exciting, and it's I think this is what all these players, when we were all growing up, we dream of moments like this, pressure, big games, energy, atmosphere. This is what it's about. This is those once in a lifetime moments. So I'm happy for both teams.
I mean, you win either way, right? Because you spent honestly like your rookie year, you were lights out, and then you go to the Pacers and you find yourself a rotation spot there too. So
Yeah.
again, like win-win. And you've been to these conference finals with the Pacers. So
Right.
do you remember sort of the emotions, how that felt, what you were taking in at that time?
Yeah, again, this is like the dream come true, right? As kids, you shooting at the park or amongst friends, even those 3-2-1 moments that everybody has is dreams of the playoffs, right? And being in those big moments. So being able to be a part of teams that were able to have some success and have some okay runs, that was every moment, every game. I'm looking around half the time like, wow, this is really happening. It was again, my time was very blessed.
Heck yeah. Now, one thing I was wondering before we get into the Pacers Knicks series in Game 6 tonight, you guys play with J.R. Smith, Paul George. Do you have like a funniest moment of like being around a guy like J.R. Smith?
No, man, I don't have any of those ones. I have great moments with JR. JR, I remember, if I'm honest, I had a lot of nerves being a rookie in the Garden, and I remember my personal favorite JR moment is he yelled at me, because I turned down a shot, and it kind of put a shockwave. Honestly, probably threw me for almost probably the rest of the season. We were playing against Phoenix, and I don't know, had like 9 points in 9 minutes. I wasn't playing a lot at that point of the season, but it was because he swung me the ball one time and I caught it and I like swung the ball and I think I might have been a little nervous. I was definitely a little nervous being at the Garden. And the next time he passed it to me, as he passed it, he screamed like, "Shoot it!" And I was like, it like shocked me, like, oh yeah, what am I doing? Like, let's play, and it woke me up. So JR to me again, the best stories for me are like him being a great teammate. And he's always been that on and off the floor, a guy, I have the utmost respect for, one of the most underrated players. And when people ask me who's my toughest cover, actually honestly always say JR playing one-on-one. I've played with everybody, but with a lot of guys, I should say. But JR has always been my toughest cover one-on-one.
Yeah, Taff, if you don't mind, I got one more question before we get into the pregame here.
Yeah, man, go ahead.
Yeah, so People remember your stints in basketball. Those who keep up with you now know about your businesses and what you're up to, your family life. But bringing it back to the older days, who would you say really got you into basketball?
My brother, my brother first, my brother who passed. He, every day I got to play was a tribute and trying to make him proud. I believe he's still looking down, still around. So my brother is the one who put the ball in my hands. My mother always supported me growing up. So those two are the biggest reasons why I was able to have any success.
Absolutely.
That's cool. And one thing I was reading up on with the Cope Collective. What is that, and how did that start?
Again, I got yelled at, right? So I just get yelled at a lot in my life, apparently. And these things, these things. Shout out to Evan Weiss and Evan was the real screamer. There's a few guys that's been on me about it, but long story short, I was telling these guys because I've always been a dot connector, and I've had a pretty strong network for some time. People called me to help them facilitate deals, this, that, and the third, and I was doing things. I did one in front of Evan in particular, and he screamed at me like, "Bro, like what's well, first he asked me, he was like, all right, what's your company? I'm like, I don't have a company. I just help people when they need it. And he was like, you don't have a company? That's a business. I'm like, oh no, these are my friends. He's like, no, this is a business. You can help your friends and they can pay you. And I was like, oh, okay. And in essence, and so I took his advice and I just decided to make it a formal operation. I have a really strong team full of some really talented folks, and we've been able to help some businesses thus far. And it's only 5 months old, but we're having some success.
That's awesome, man. I love to hear
Yeah.
it. And do either of y'all have another question for him before we get into the series?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Phil. Sorry, you got it.
Oh no, no, I'm not hyped to talk serious, but you go on and get
Word. So I don't know if you'll have a specific answer because I mean I'm sure you've been asked something like this, but I don't know if anything will come to mind instantly. But do you have a favorite moment with each team that you've been on? Knicks, Pacers, Bucks, and I even looked on Basketball Reference. You had a picture with the Pelicans too. If you have any moments with them.
Honestly, I never thought about it like that. My favorite moment in basketball for certain is my first game after the game was over. I didn't play. I think I might have got in for 30 seconds. I didn't do anything. But my first game is my favorite moment because I got to hug my mom after the game and we had that moment of like,
Oh,
wow, I
yeah.
made it. Like that's my favorite moment was in the family room. I have that picture. It's actually my backdrop to my phone. That was my favorite moment there. Um, Pacers had a lot of really cool ones. I never thought about it from each team, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Oh,
Although
okay.
people usually ask me, like, what's your favorite moment in basketball? Pacers, if I had to say, was honestly signing the deal, and having Larry Bird calling me
Yeah.
before I yeah, I was in like right now I'm in Richmond, and I was in the James River with a bunch of the homies and on a boat and Bird called and my agent called and it was like they want to, I was like, who called? What?
Yeah.
That's probably my favorite. That's my favorite moment from the Pacers was just a phone call and from Larry Bird himself.
You ever get to shoot
We
around with them or no?
shooting no, but we had a lot of conversations. He would come in and like shoot but like just one on one, nah.
Yeah.
I won't say that. But we've had a lot of one on one conversations. Always stand up. Always gave me good life stuff, good basketball stuff. Um, so Larry, getting a call from Larry, the Bucks. My favorite moment with the Bucks would probably I'm freestyling this one,
Okay.
so
Yeah. No problem.
I'll think this through in the future. But um, my favorite moment with the Bucks, honestly, probably was being around Jay Kidd, just because we had been teammates and now he's the head coach, and it's like that. The only word that's popping in my mind is not the word. For sure, I'm fucking the word up, but excuse my language.
Oh no, you're
But
good.
the
you're good.
juxtaposition is what it feels like is the word of having him go from this and then change and it's seeing him in a new position, a new light. Like literally, we're doing ice tub together, and he's giving me player advice, and then all of a sudden he's the head coach, and it was fun. It was always we had a different relationship because of our past. So I think just still being able to grow even at that stage of my career. And I was also proud of him being a head coach already and dominating. I thought doing a really good job, and still doing it to this day. So I think just being around J Kidd because he's just such a he has comes with such a wealth of knowledge.
Phil, you gave
Yeah.
us a beautiful rendition of Hope singing "Happy Birthday" to him.
Yeah, I remember. I was looking it up. I was looking through
I know that was
his.
beautiful, right? Angelic, right? Voice. It was pretty
Oh, the
angelic
voice
voice,
of
right?
the voice of an angel right there.
Man, talk about now. That's a story. I was terrified. They told me I had to sing, and they hustled me actually. That you see Jr. and all of them. They were like, "Look, all you got to do is tee it up, and the crowd's gonna sing. You tee it up. You say, 'Hey, help me sing,' and give the mic back to the girl, and then the crowd's gonna sing." Yeah. So they gave me the mic. I said, "Hey, can you help join me?" And you'll see I look, and the girl disappeared, and it's just me with the mic and a sold out crowd at the Garden, and they all laughing, and I'm like terrified. You could have. I was probably shaking or whatever, but yeah, that was a good moment.
Damn, that's foul.
The best musical
Foul. Set me up.
performance.
Rookie stuff. This is what they do to you.
That's awesome. Now, since you've played for the Knicks and the Pacers, I'm not gonna make you pick sides, but I'm curious, who you rooting for in this series? What's your heart telling
I'll say
you?
I'm rooting for the Knicks tonight because the only thing I've been saying is I want to see 7 games. I want to see
Mm.
7 games. I think every game's been exciting. Um, I really, honestly, I'm never gonna lie to you guys. I don't really care who wins. I have actual friends on both sides that I would love to see have success. I'm not rooting, I'm not picking a side, but I want the Knicks to win tonight so they can play 7 games. And I think that's real pressure. That's real exciting. I want to see who shows up in Game 7, and
Yeah.
but that's for me personally. Like I love both organizations, and I love a bunch of players that are there. Pascal's the guy I have the utmost respect for, and other guys as well. I don't want to go down the list, but so cheering for both teams.
Yeah, I think at this point we're inclined to agree with you that we are rooting for a Game 7.
That's what I want to see. I want to see. It's good for basketball. I mean, it's been a great season. It's been whatever team you're rooting for. I think it's been an exciting series. I think both teams have been playing well.
Mm.
Yeah, so kind of a funny story, just thinking about it. We're talking about Knicks Pacers here, and you've played for both. I went to J.R. Smith's Knicks summer basketball camp, and
Wow.
someone asked him, do you like LeBron? And he was like, as a person, cool, but I hate him as a player. And then they got traded to the Cavs, obviously, months later. So did you sort of have that, I don't want to say hatred, but that disliking in your heart for the Pacers after that
great question.
series? And then obviously you go to sign with them, and do you have like a different perspective afterwards?
It's a great question. And if I'm honest, I was definitely a Nick in a Pacer uniform for a good portion of the beginning of this season. I don't know if I've ever even asked. I told that to people off the camera, but you asked the question. So I was definitely a Nick in a Pacer uniform early in the season. And we all felt it in the locker room. We had, a lot of back and forth, and it was never like nasty. And some of those guys, I think to this day, are like some of my closest friends or my Pacer guys. But yeah, when I first got over there after what we went through, this was 3 months before, whatever it was. Yeah, it was not. Oh, I'm so excited to be here. I was like, this is the move. This is the best move right now. But I definitely called all my teammates from the Knicks. I was very hesitant to leave. But it was the right move.
I'm sure they told you to go for it, though, right?
All of them, every single one.
Yeah,
every single one.
Appreciate you opening up about that, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
Oh shit.
Now on Zoom, dude, it's crazy.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Yeah, you got that too, Tef?
Yeah. Did it kick us all out?
Yeah, I think so. We all just got booted right there.
We're here now.
Okay. All right. I'm glad it's still working for us.
Yep.
All right, we're
Oof.
But all right, Where were we?
I don't remember.
Just finished talking about Nick's uniform.
Oh, okay, yeah. And with oh, one thing.
We're just gonna.
Oh, what were you gonna say?
Oh, you got it. All right. So no, oh no, I was good. You were always creeping on. We're not creeping. You were always like one question away from like the pregame stuff. But if you got other questions, yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, actually, with the pregame stuff, I'm wondering. I mean, obviously, I think tonight, obviously, we won a game 7, like we were saying. Phil's rooting for the Pacers out of spite for Gabe and I, but with like, who do you think, like, out of the 3 teams that are left, who do you think's winning the chip?
I'm not gonna lie to you guys again. OKC. I think it don't matter. Being honest with you. You know, I'm pulling for the Knicks or the Pacers, whoever gets there. Honestly, I'm not shy about that. But OKC is just the best team I've seen in basketball. You know, from top to bottom, well coached, very disciplined guys. They play hard. They're young and scrappy. It's everything you need. Uh, but yeah,
Yeah. One thing I notice about OKC when I watch them play is you can tell that they like playing together. And I'm pretty sure, like, one thing that maybe not enough people talk about, let me know what you think of this, like, on the different teams that you've been on. Like, I mean, let's take the Nets, for example, from a couple years ago when they had KD and Kyrie and Harden, and it never worked. And then you see a team like the Celtics. I think this is another thing I noticed back when Randall was on the Knicks. I mean, like, comparing the 2 teams, like, I don't know, the team chemistry, it seems like, you know, they enjoy playing together, like OKC does. And, yeah, I don't know, like, that's what I noticed the most about OKC. Like, they're killing it. I think if they didn't enjoy playing together, they wouldn't be nearly as good as they are.
chemistry. That's a great observation. Chemistry is huge. You don't have to love each other, but you guys have to be on one accord. And however that works, right? It could be because of your coaching. It could be because of chemistry. It could be a lot of reasons, but you can see that chemistry with OKC.
Do you think there's a team between the Knicks and Pacers that stylistically makes more sense to compete against the Thunder, or do you think it really doesn't matter?
I don't think either team can beat them in 7 games, but I wouldn't. It's a great question. Matchups.
I mean, it really feels like defensively the Thunder have an answer to everything, but
Everything. I think losing Hardenstein. If Hardenstein was with the Knicks, I would say, he's heavy. He's heavy on the glass. Mitchell probably, you know, they'll battle on the glass. I think he's a big. He's Hardenstein. Honestly, to me, is the reason why OKC is a championship level team. They have a ton of pieces. But he's one of those throwback real bigs that is heavy and is on the glass, is mobile, doesn't really care to be, dancing on the wing too much. And this new generation, very talented. I think it's a more talented generation. But the bruises are not as common, and those big strong bodies obviously are lethal. If you look at what OKC is doing, it's because they're getting second chance points and they're limiting you to one shot, right? And I don't think. I think Mitchell's a beast, obviously. Turner's solid, but I think Hardenstein, what he's going to do on the glass with all those talented shooters, they're going to get second chances, and there's so many weapons. It's just hard to bet against them. Anything's possible, though. That's why we watch. It's basketball.
yeah, absolutely. I just think, I didn't even think about Hardenstein. I probably should have, obviously, since he's a former Knick. But to me, what I was thinking is, obviously, in this league, the new offense is you get your star ball handler and you run a bunch of screens and get him on the other team's worst defender. But if you're facing the Thunder, say last series you're Anthony Edwards, you have Caruso on you, you get the screen, and who do you switch to? J-Dub, all defensive second team. Or, you switch to Lou Dort, who's been a menace since he almost helped beat the Rockets with Chris Paul. Or Cason Wallace, who his whole thing is defense. SGA, underrated defender. Chet, his perimeter defense is a little 50-50, but his post
But
defense
he's
is a
7 feet.
great shot blocker. Yeah,
He
exactly.
said, so
So
he's gonna alter shots.
it's
Yeah,
like, who do you even switch to? That's kind of what my thought process was.
100%. And this is what I'm saying. Like they're all on one. Like it's a well-oiled machine over there. And teams gonna have to do a lot of if you really want to be a championship contender, you're gonna have to beat that, I think. And teams gonna do a lot of adjusting to contend with that monster over there. But let's see. Listen, honestly, if you would have told me before the season started that it would be a Knicks Pacers
Yeah.
Eastern Conference Final, I would have. So let's see. Like both these teams are playing at a really high level at the right time. And let's see. Like I'm gonna be tuned in because I don't think it's not gonna be blowouts. I don't think. But yeah. So let's see.
Yeah.
I mean, even a month ago.
Yeah. Should be a
Yeah.
hell of a game. And I mean, obviously, I want the Knicks to win, but from what I've seen lately, the Pacers are just insane. They're the best. Like, I think
They're
they
tough.
might be better than the Thunder right now.
Wow.
That's okay.
That's
Let's
a
see.
crazy thing.
Spicy.
Let's see. Hey, listen, I'm not gonna argue that. Listen, and honestly, I think at this point of the season, they're better than their record indicated for sure.
Oh,
Way
So
better.
I'm probably not evaluating. I mean, listen, look at what they did to Cleveland. So
Mhm.
that's not a crazy take. For me, it's hard to argue with a team that's done it all season and still doing it. But that's not a crazy take, especially after what they did to Cleveland, the number one team in the East. So we'll see. Like I said, we'll see. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
great
gonna-
teams find a way. Like
That
I
part.
remember when the Hawks beat the Knicks in 2021. Granted, neither team was quite ready to be a contender at that point. Although the Hawks did make the Eastern Conference Finals, so I guess anyone that makes it that level should be considered a contender. But when they beat us, I remember thinking in my head like, all right, the Sixers are going to sweep them, and then that'll cancel out. And they somehow beat the number 1 seed 76ers with a healthy Embiid. That was still an all-star Ben Simmons, Tobias Harris, all that.
Mhm.
So you could be right, Taff. They could be better than the Thunder. I just don't see it just because both teams are deep though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are, and that's. But this is again why we watch.
Yeah.
And this is it's gonna be I don't think it's gonna be blowouts if the Knicks or the Pacers anybody goes. I think it's gonna be competitive. I just give the nod to OKC.
You don't think there will be any 40 balls this time around?
Nah, I think both teams got too much pride. I think. I mean, you can always have a blowout. I mean, it's basketball that could also happen, but I think there's gonna be a dogfight either way.
Speaking of the game tonight, Cope, your nickname was the X Factor. You're looking at Indiana and you're looking at New York. Who's got to be the X Factor for each team for each one to win tonight?
For New York, I say, great question. Cat. I think Cat and Jalen are gonna be there for the X Factor. I want to say Deuce.
Deuce. He's the only guy whose name is chanted in every arena when he shoots the ball.
That's fire. I want to say Deuce as an actual X Factor off the bench. Damn, what's my homie's name? I forget his name. 44. Yeah, Landry. He would be another person I would throw out there for X Factors for the Knicks. For the Pacers,
Feels like their whole team is X Factors.
yeah, like
It's
seriously, it
true.
depends on the game. Honestly, I think the way they play, they just need to continue. I don't think they need like a huge spark. I think the Knicks need a huge spark because they got their two guys. The way the Pacers play, I think they need balance and pace. And the way they play is not like, okay, it's kind of like who's open and they need to create good looks for everybody through playing with pace. I think it's kind of what they do. So I wouldn't pick an X Factor. If I had to say a name, I'd say Pascal.
Yeah.
But as the guy that can take them over and have a great game, yeah, I'll leave it there.
It seems like Pascal is kind of the guy where if you don't get a shot off in the first 8 seconds, he's who you go to, right?
Him or Halliburton. I would say Halliburton, honestly, but they have huge mismatches with him. He creates off of the pick and rolls and forces switches. And it makes the right decisions. He can, get to his midi or get to the rim or make the right play. Yeah.
I was actually having this debate right before you joined with Taff and Phil. So Knicks fan base and media, a little delusional, but sometimes what they say can be up the right ballpark. So from your perspective, if you're Tibbs or whoever makes the final decision, GM, whatever, if you see Mikhail struggling or Josh Hart struggling for a game or two, do you immediately say, I gotta, let's say, start Landry Shamet because that's what fans were saying? Or do you stick it out because they're the ones who helped get you to where you are in the Eastern Conference Finals?
Nah, me personally, I keep the same rotation. Maybe a guy comes in earlier that's been killing, you know what I mean, or that's like Landry's been playing really well. That's Landry Shamet.
Yeah,
Saying that right? Yeah, making sure I'm saying it right. He used to come anyway. Long story short, but yeah, I would keep the same rotation, and as guys prove themselves like Shamet has throughout the playoffs, I would give them more looks. But I would give those guys that got me their opportunity to have a game. And if it's looking like it's not going that way, give other guys opportunity.
feel you. Yeah, we're on the same boat. Just the fan base can be a little impatient.
Yeah, basketball and the NBA in general is a very fickle field of fans, I think. And it's like, okay, Halliburton is so overrated, and then he's the second coming of, like, you know what I mean? And I think he's a great player. I hope that doesn't come across any kind of, but it's just what fans do.
Yeah.
It's today they love you, tomorrow they hate you, and but as a coach, you have to weather all of that and sometimes listen, because honestly, I think sometimes fans can see some things, so you can hear when people are talking, but you have to be able to make wise decisions despite what people say.
Yeah, man. One thing I've been talking about with a lot of my friends that follow basketball is the fact that they really, I mean, I can't believe that they had a player vote on which one of your colleagues is the most overrated. They picked
Yeah,
Halliburton.
that's whack.
I think he's
The
been playing.
NFL did it, and then Josh Allen, who was voted most overrated, won MVP.
Yeah,
That's whack.
Yeah.
It's a very whack survey. Whoever put that together.
indeed.
Shout
I
out
don't
to
really,
Halliburton.
I'm not a big fan of it either. It's also got Halliburton playing with a chip on his shoulder now, and
Yes.
like,
I bet you if you're a Pacers fan, you're thankful that came out, because there's no way that's not part of his motivation.
oh
There's
yeah.
no
I
way.
mean, he definitely. I still think Brunson should have won Clutch Player of the Year, but he definitely should have been a finalist. He wasn't even a finalist for that, and he had that crazy 4-point play in the play-in tournament, or not the play-in, the NBA Cup tournament.
Yeah, yeah, and he's been doing it. He's been showing it all. For the last few years. The thing about the Pacers is they are similar. Again, to that great take. They're very similar to OKC, in which you got a star or stars, but that's just not their style. They remind me of maybe a faster Pistons, a team that's just balanced. You know what I mean? They got a lot of good, really strong, talented pieces. So some nights he's not gonna be, it's not like a LeBron where you give him the ball and he's gonna go get you a win or not get you, or Luka. You know what I mean? Whatever. Like, they're just not built like that. They're well-oiled, and that's honestly a testament to him as a good point guard, because he shares the wealth. So, salute to them and their style of play. And sometimes that goes against them because they play good basketball.
Yeah. Well, all right. I have people coming to my house in about 5 minutes, but
Yeah, and I'm a jump, fellas.
but wait,
All right.
before who's winning tonight?
I'm hoping for the Knicks. I want to see it go 7.
Let's go.
So I want to see it go 7. So let's see how it goes.
Alrighty, man. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Absolutely. Much love.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Later.
Legend.
That's
The X Factor.
The X Factor. You saw it. You heard it. Chris Copeland, he says the Knicks are going to win tonight.
what a humble guy, man.
For real. Very down to earth.
That was awesome.
This will definitely be a conversation for another time. Man, I hope I can get him on. I hope we can get him on again. I want
Absolutely.
to have like a dedicated hour.
Yeah.
Hey, father time
Copeland hour.
Father time always comes first, but if he ever has an hour or 30 minutes like tonight, that would be awesome.
For real,
Yeah.
man.
He is. That is one chill dude.
For
Hey,
real.
Cope, if you're listening, you can promote your business anytime you'd like.
Yeah,
Indeed.
exactly. Just we got 39 people here who want to hear about it.
Hey, that's a dope little following. 39 people. All right, shout out you guys.
Heck yeah. And all right, so Phil, I know you're Mr. Yes sirs. Yes sirs. What's your heart saying and what's your head saying about the outcome of the game tonight?
As much as I am wanting to rooting for the Pacers, I do want a game 7. I want a game 7 at the Garden. I do want that. That's my heart, though. That's my heart. In my head, every time Indiana has done this, where Halliburton kind of doesn't have the game that he needs to, and I mean, even then, despite the fact that he didn't have the game that they need to, they still kept within striking distance. The one thing about Indiana is that they're always within like 8 or 9, and all they need is one run. They're right back in it. I think my head is going to tell me Indiana ends the series tonight, but I will say I do wish for the Knicks to win this so it goes to game 7.
Hey,
I need
one
some
thing I'll
adrenaline.
say is we broke the streak so far of Pacers winning game 1 and 2, losing game 3, and then winning game 4 and 5. We broke that streak.
Yep.
We broke the pattern. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Phil, what's that on your shirt, man? I see 3 letters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I put it on. I put on NYC, dude.
Put on.
It's like this used to be my
shout out
uncle's
this,
like
baby.
sleep shirt.
Shout out to New York Knicks.
I don't
on
have my jersey
shirt.
on yet, but check it
Yeah,
out. It's a shade of orange.
I'm representing NYC more than you, Dev. What are you doing?
No,
with it?
no. You see, I have a bunch of. Oh, this
saying,
better
I
be
love
this
it.
better be my Kevin Knox jersey. Oh my God! Of course it is, man.
Of course. How did
Who else
that
but
happen?
Kevin
Where's
Knox,
the second?
man?
It doesn't have the second on it.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I think that's
this
not
is,
him.
This is before his. This is actually his dad's jersey.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how long I've been a fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, out of respect for superstitions, I am not giving a prediction for tonight. I am letting the game go out, and I am not saying who will win or lose. Because no matter what, if I say we win, I'm jinxing it. If I say we lose, I speak it into fruition.
That's kind of true.
That's true. I'm sure you could guess what I would say, but I'm going to follow suit with
I
Dave
could
on
take
that
an educated guess on what you might
one.
say.
Yeah, you could hypothesize. Conspire.
Well, let me just.
That's sick.
Let me just.
I just had to sneeze.
But alrighty, people of Earth, man, getting Cope in here, that fired me up, man. I'm
That
not
was
gonna
awesome,
lie.
yeah.
Sitting in front of my computer for a little while, I was starting to get a little honk. Shoo! We got
Man.
Cope in here. I'm ready. I'm ready to rumble. I'm fired up.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Let's go Knicks!
Ready to
Woo! Alrighty,
Dude.
people of Earth, thank you for watching. We will return for Game 7 pregame show.
Oh, wow.
Wow! Wow!
Oh, man.
Hey, I didn't.
Oh,
hey, I
man.
didn't say what
You
series,
just
man. I didn't say what series. I didn't give any
Game 7
details.
of the NBA
I didn't
Finals.
say anything. I wasn't too detailed about it. So like,
Yeah.
Talking Game 7 in
He's
hockey.
talking Game 7 the
Yeah,
final.
could
Yeah,
be
yeah.
Game 7 in
No,
hockey,
he's talking about the
could be
finals.
Game 7 of the
when we
NBA
get to the
Finals.
NBA Finals.
who
Right,
knows, man? But we
that's
will be back
for
for Game
sure
7
what
pregame
he's
show.
talking
Seventh game of
about.
next year.
Game
Oh,
7.
yeah,
I don't know
right,
what
yeah.
Game 7.
We'll be
but
back
we
for
will.
Game 9. Game 9 of the Eastern Conference Finals.
No.
Yeah,
Oh.
Knicks in 9.
Knicks in 19, folks. They've got the series. Oh, man.
Alrighty.
All right.
I'm nervous. Alrighty.
Alrighty.
Alright. But thank you
Alright,
for
folks.
watching, people of Earth. Gabe, thank you for joining. Chris
Yes,
Copeland,
sir.
thank
Always
you.
a
Follow
pleasure.
listeners and follow this podcast.
Oh yeah, follow this
Woo!
podcast. Follow
Come follow,
NBA
drop a
Rumors
like.
and News on Instagram. This
Prime time with Taff
Prime
and
time with
Phil
Taff and Phil.
on Instagram.
Yep. And
Like
the
and
Chris
subscribe.
Copeland portion of this episode will be uploaded as a video in the next 24 hours.
Let's go.
Woo!
Tell a friend to tell a friend. Tell the ShopRite cashier. Tell the KFC cashier. Tell the mechanic.
Tell
Follow-
the banker.
Bill.
Tell your customer service person about this.
Tell your local grocery store.
Tell your
clerks.
mama.
Tell your mother.
Tell
Honestly,
your
I bet
mother
you would
and your
tell
father and your sister and your brother and your cat and your dog.
It's gonna be bigger than the New York Knicks, folks.
It's gonna be. Listen, nobody really understands this, but it's gonna be huge. Trust me on this. It's gonna be great. Well, you know, it's gonna be great, folks. We're gonna see the Knicks win. We're gonna see the Knicks win. Probably game 6 or I think you know what? I'm changing my pick. Knicks win. I changed my pick.
You
Knicks
didn't
win.
say it. You
I'm
didn't
changing
say
it
it.
now.
Yeah.
I'm changing it now.
Yeah!
All right.
I'll have Knicks win game
Yeah.
6.
Yeah. Oh.
All right.
All right. I gotta go be a host. But
Yeah,
people,
yeah.
let's go Knicks. Chris Copeland, thank you for coming on again. Gabriel, thank you for coming on again. I will see you very
Pleasure.
shortly.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I'll be on my way. I just got to drive.
Not
4.5
yes,
hours.
sirs.
Yeah,
Yes,
Philip.
sir.
Yeah. Yes, sir. In the singular.
Yes, madame. Yes, madame.
All right.
Alrighty.